touch it. Back up, please.
This is as tall as I get.
I'm here with my husband, Nick, who loves me very much. I met my husband online and we moved in together within 4 months of knowing each other. If you've never seen us before, it's nice to meet you. My name is Catherine.
And I'm Nick.
I'm from Boston.
I am from San Clemente, California.
We live in Southern California together. We met on TikTok in
February 2022.
I feel like that sounds
I feel
right.
like
I don't know. And we got married
Yeah,
in
2022 because we just passed 4 years.
and we got married in September of 2025. Four. Wow, so we got married within 2 years of knowing each other. Within 2 years of knowing each other, we moved in together. I moved across the country. I moved in with Nick across the country. We got engaged and we got married.
And we got a dog.
And
Catherine finished her MBA.
And I finished my MBA. And so I guess we're not trying to say...
And I got a new job.
And Nick got 2 new jobs. So a lot of stuff happened for us really fast. And we just knew I had met the love of my life.
I think we're both of the opinion that you need to feel a little bit crazy about the person that you're interested in order for to even get the ball rolling. Need to feel like in a manic state a little bit.
We were both really sure of each other, and if we had told our story before we were now, we've been together for 4 years, and I am, without a shadow of a doubt, Nick is the love of my life. Any other timeline of me telling our story, I felt like people rolled their eyes. They were count your days. You know what I mean? So I guess I just wanted to share that if you also are certain about something and it feels like there's so much out there that's if everybody in your life but doesn't like somebody, they're trying to tell you something. And yeah, life isn't black and white like that. There's so much nuance, and sometimes you have to make a decision that feels so right for you. Sometimes your intuition is saying something that nobody else can hear. Listening to your intuition is the bravest thing you can do, especially when it feels like it's not a popular thing to do. And I'm never going to endorse something that causes you harm. We're never going to endorse something that feels... I met Nick when I was 26 years old. I lived on my own. I moved across the country to live with him, and that does seem risky. That was risky. I had to lie to my family. I told them where I was living. They had met Nick before.
They had met me multiple times.
Yeah. I also want to say, human nature to not want to feel pain. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to feel pain. And so when somebody hears about something bad happening to somebody, it's human nature to actually distance yourself from that and be well, that would never happen to me. They should have seen it coming. As if to say, if they saw it coming, it would make it better. And that's such a ridiculous thing to say, because nobody wants to feel pain. It just happens to people sometimes. That just life happens. You can't anticipate all of life. There's so much out of your control in life. You make choices, you take risks, and you know that life is taking risks and knowing that you are capable as best you can to handle the outcome of those risks. Life is not taking a risk that you know all the outcomes. If you know how it's going to end, then it's not a risk. You know what I mean? So anyway, I made a risk and it paid off, and I married the love of my life, and it was one of the best things I've ever done for myself, moving across the country, and I'm so glad I did it every single day. In those early months, in that transition time, I really didn't feel supported at all, and that was when I really wanted that support, and I didn't hear it or feel it. It was so controversial. I couldn't talk about it. I stopped posting about it online because it was causing so much stress and pain, and I could not handle it, and I felt really alone. But I never doubted my choice. Not because I trusted you, it's because I trusted myself to make a decision for myself.
I think I can speak as maybe the most risk-averse person that I know. Being me, I was very cautious, but also Catherine pushes that side of me. She pushes me to explore different sides of myself and maybe take more calculated risks. I feel like we kind of balance each other out in that way. She pushes us forward, and I feel like I maybe keep us grounded.
I wanted to bring Nick on here for a lot of reasons. Nick is such a gift to me, and I think we've been together so long now that we have a lot of wisdom to share. We've lived in 2 apartments together. We've gotten married. We've planned a wedding across the country. We've gone through a lot of things. And when you go through a lot in a couple, you're looking for so much advice. And I think there's so much advice online about who to date. And there's so much advice online that's black and white about oh, you found the right person, and it's yes or no. But then when it comes to day to day, it felt like a gray area, and it was such an adjustment. I used to think I would find the person who I'd spend the rest of my life with, and everything in my life would be easy. And that could not have been farther from the truth. I know without a shadow of a doubt, I was meant to find Nick, and he is my soulmate. And I did a lot of growing with you. We've grown a lot together, and a lot. Nick has brought out sides of me and has made me stronger and more independent and more trusting and more resilient and more together. We are stronger than we are apart. I have never felt that way in any situation. I think there was anything that was a truth. It's I do it, and I do it alone. I do it. I can do it. I can do this on my own, and I don't need anybody else, and I can do it. And Nick is slowly over time, Nick has shown me no, you can't. And like, if you can, what's the point? Like, you should share and like trust people, and things are better in community. That's a little bit about like what we envision for what this will be. But we're going to tell you the story of how we met now.
Yeah. And I'll start because chronologically, Catherine was not a part of the story to begin with. Well, she was a part of the story, but not conscious of it yet. There I was living in Newport Beach with my 2 roommates, and something came across my desk. And by my desk, I mean my TikTok DMs. And it was just from one of my friends, and it was Catherine's TikTok, and she said, the friend said, you would be in love with this girl. And I, upon further inspection, confirmed that she was correct. And like, it was pretty crazy because like, I wouldn't have considered myself someone who was super like crush happy, but something about Catherine, there was something speaking to me. Like, I had never sent a DM to anybody on TikTok. Like, I was single, but that wasn't my vibe. But I felt really drawn to Catherine. So I followed her. I think that day the TikTok was about guys singing and playing guitar and how that's like cringe. And meanwhile, I was teaching myself to play guitar. I've always liked to sing. So like, it was kind of a little bit of ribbing at me. So I reposted it on my Instagram story. Like, I literally screen recorded her TikTok and posted it on my Instagram story to kind of like make fun of myself, because I literally had just posted like a cover on my Instagram. And like, I thought that'd be the end of it, but I followed.
I posted on TikTok this video because I had ended a 3-year relationship with somebody I'd lived with. And a lot of my friends who I was hanging out with were trying to like set me up with people, and had gotten set up with literally 2 guys in a row, if not 3, who were like really big John Mayer fans and were teaching themselves to play guitar. And they would post singing videos of themselves covering John Mayer songs on guitar on Instagram. And I was like, this is making me want to crawl into my skin. And this was before the Barbie movie. I'm like, stop playing guitar at me. This is so uncomfortable. I hate it. And so I just made a video. I'm like, stop. Like, this is the least attractive quality to me. And I know some people are like, I want someone to write a song for me. I'm just not that person. Like, that is just not it for me.
So yeah, I followed Catherine on TikTok and I don't know, I feel like TikTok just shows you the people that you follow, or it did at the time. So I was kind of getting inundated with all of her content, and I really liked it. I found her like very smart, very eloquent. I don't know, there was something about her that it felt like I knew her. Like, I always have said to her, like, I feel like I saw her in my dreams, like in my childhood. Like, there was something like super familiar, and yeah, I just like, I couldn't put my finger on it. And like, I felt so drawn, like I had to know her, like something deep within me had to know her. And so one day I was making another cover, and like, after a couple months of seeing her TikToks, and I was like I posted a couple on TikTok. Just, I don't know, I was like, I just want to post these somewhere so they live somewhere. Not trying to like, I don't know, be a famous singer or anything, but I made the video, and like, at this point I'm aware that Catherine loves Taylor Swift, and it was a Taylor Swift song, Sparks Fly, and I just was like, what if I shot my shot? And I made the caption like, I'll stop posting cringe if at EXO swimmer girl DMs me back. And like, she was unaware of who I was, and then I posted it, didn't really think anything of it, and like, hoped maybe she would respond, and then didn't for a month. So I thought it was over.
To wrap things up, like, about the how we met thing, it's funny, everything really happens for a reason. I've always thought about love. Like, love has always been the most important thing to me. And I never thought I could have love where like I would find the same sense of humor and all this stuff. And when I met Nick, it was like we had lived life so mirrored. Like, we were meant to meet. Like, we had the same relationship timelines of like first heartbreak. Like, it just was so crazy, the stuff we had gone through. But I was dating, and I went through my first like situationship heartbreak after like the long breakup, whatever. And I wrote on a piece of paper, like, and I think I did that like around the TikTok that I posted. So I posted that in September. Nick saw it. I didn't speak to Nick until, or like know he existed until February, and it described Nick to a T. The piece of paper fully described. I found that paper like when we were first going home for our first Christmas together. And I ended up seeing his TikTok because my best friend sent me it. It's like, oh, I don't know how this slipped through. Like, this guy is like, you've been describing your dream guy, and it's like this guy, and he seemed to make a video for you. And I saw it, and I was like, this guy is my dream. And that day I saw it, I swear, this is what's so funny. Like, that day I had been dating. And that day I was like, you know what? Like, before I even saw Nick, I was like, okay, I'm done. Like, I deleted the dating app so many times. Like, I'd made new account, like and you're like looking for the one, and you're talking to people about it, and everyone's like, why don't you just delete it all? And I'm like, you don't think I know that? Like, do you know what I mean? At that moment, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to operate like I'm finding the love of my life this year. And it was that day, you know? So I had lived that day, and I deleted everything. I just felt clearer. And I went on and I saw that video that Nick had posted. It was a month ago. And he said, like, when she DMs me back, so I opened Instagram and there was no DM there. And it's because he had sent me a DM but unsent it because he didn't want to seem like desperate.
It wasn't that good.
So I was like, what the? And then I was like, okay, I'll just follow him back so he can message me on TikTok. And then I thought, no. Like, I made rules for myself. TikTok is going to be for me, and this will be something sacred. I would not use it to date. So I followed him back for like a second, and then I unfollowed him. And then I was like, you know what? I'll just accept message requests on Instagram from him if he wants to message me. And then I had therapy. So I just was like, you know what? If it's meant to be, it'll be. And I had like a really great therapy session that day with my therapist. And I was like, okay. And we talked about if I thought love was blind. And I'm like, you know what? What's meant to be will be. He was everything I had ever looked for in a guy. And he still is. And I cannot stress enough. It's like I have nightmares now. When I have nightmares, genuinely, when I have nightmares, it is that that I'm with the person that wasn't Nick. It's like my nightmares are not that like people are being harmed in my life. It's that my life is BN, like before Nick, because that is like, it's like he turned the brightness in my life, like being here. And yeah, it just was crazy meeting him. And then he messaged me, and it was so funny. He told me he like overthought it, the first message he sent. And the first message he sent, I was like, yeah, that's it. It made me laugh out loud. I'm like, he's like me, and we've been together. We haven't stopped talking since.
We were FaceTiming later that day.
Yeah.
And then all the time until I flew out to meet her.
And then that's like how we met, and we'll be sharing the rest of our story here, parts, and then we can share more about like what it's like to be together. Yeah, I thought for a while I just kind of wanted to keep this sacred, and I am glad that it's sacred. And now I've just come to a point in my life where it doesn't feel right to keep something so good and pure and healthy just to myself. I want other people to know what healthy love looks like. We aren't doing this to look perfect. We're doing this because we know it can help people. And
that's like, we know.
Anyway, thanks for hanging out with us on our couch. We love you, and we will talk to you next week.
Love y'all. Bye.
Bye.